Yes, चलें. क्या चलें तुम कर रहे क्या कर रहे हूँ मजा है. ये ले मेरा ऑल इन.
अरे
ऑल इन
किधर ऑल इन आया है भाई?
ऑल इन.
Sorry, not an actor. Sorry.
अबे यार.
Not an actor. Why you said Ali?
क्योंकि मैं बेवड़ा हूँ.
अरे बट मैं गैम्बल करने वाला था ना.
The only thing ठाकुर
अबे तो
more
गैम्बल करने के
fall
लिए
off
दो
a
लोग
train.
चाहिए ना तेरे को बाबा.
अच्छा,
गैम्बलिंग की तो अकेला गैम्बलिंग कर रहा है.
I was just going to put money.
तू मेरे साथ खेल रहा है गैम्बलिंग. मैं बेवड़ा हूँ और मैं ऑल इन गया हूँ और उधर आदर हेरोइन कर रहा है.
And then you win. And Varun's entire life is destroyed because you won all his money.
You won all my money. और कौतुक ने लेकिन पूरा 30 सेकंड गुटखा खाया.
I first realized that I was making it below camera.
I would like to point out this was rehearsed for 30 minutes before we started recording this podcast.
Yeah, everybody had their thing, but in case you guys haven't figured out, our topic for today is political leaders. Guys, let me also tell you, it is 12:45 at night. We are delirious max. लेकिन ताकि आप लोग हम पे शेड ना थ्रो करे, हमें गालियां ना दे, और ऐसे नहीं बोले followed you for 7 years unsubscribing क्योंकि हम एक हफ्ता नहीं आए.
क्योंकि हम समझते हैं कि टिस आपका एडिक्शन
है. अरे चल चालू कर दे एपिसोड. Welcome to another episode of the Internet Shit Show. Show with a random interesting way of shared fashion trivia personal stories.
Somewhere you have to hiccup also.
Rick is the best drunkard that has ever been portrayed in media.
Who? Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty ka Rick. It's just like a high functioning drunk.
He's a high functioning everything, bro. Yeah. But anyway, today's topic is, as you guys must have read the title, it's addictions.
Oh.
So addictions. So in usual test fashion, let me ask you guys, what is that one thing you would say you are addicted to, and why is it cocaine?
Guys, मैं एक चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ.
तू तेरे को पहले बोला चालू में नहीं बोल, ये पॉडकास्ट के एंड में बोलने का है.
ओके, एंड में बोलेगा, एंड में.
Okay, guys, if you all want to know, Neville's been dying to say something and we want him to say it. He wanted to say it in the cold open, but it's good if we say it in the end. So please stick around or scrub to the end. हाँ तो भाई
No, don't scrub to the end. Fucking watch it.
Anything for watch time. So you can scrub.
Actually, don't scrub to the end, because to understand what he's going to say at the end, you may as well first listen to what he's going to say now. Like,
or you can scrub to the end, hear it, then come back to the beginning and see how it led up to that moment.
What is this? Every time you're watching a podcast, just scrub to the end before you stop watching. Like, so that our watch time.
Yeah, do that. If you don't like the topic, don't like the episode, start it, then go to the end, and then you can give a dislike also, but just go to the end.
My only question is, what if they're actually going to finish it, but वो बीच में तो वो बेचारा पूरा all the way scrolls all the way to the end, and then they have to go back to where they left off, like that.
Yeah, means it's like you take a button and take it there. कुछ उनको manual labor नहीं करना है.
अरे, but then they forget now where they are.
So that's on them.
Okay, I'm gonna put this train back on track.
Cocaine? Why would they forget where they are?
Because I feel like that happens occasionally.
Okay, no.
What were your addictions? चल आदर क्या addiction है तेरा, बोल.
मेरा TV है, hands down. It has been the bane of my existence, because now it's got to a point where I cannot do any activity without having a screen or some form of some random content. Oh, I have 5 minutes to do this. मैं literally आज खिचड़ी बना रहा था, and मैं बनाते time I was like, hey, wait, इसको 10 मिनट लगेगा मेरे को दाल वाल धोने के लिए. Why not watch a clip of a podcast that I have already probably seen before and just spend that 10 minutes?
Is it Tis?
Other, this is
मैं
a
Tis के episodes नहीं देखता मैं.
this is how a lot of parents in restaurants feed their child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is this is
Not,
what's happened to you.
Not
So
just
my
in
parents are at
restaurants.
fault.
Anywhere.
My parents are
Anywhere.
at fault.
Anywhere. You know, if parents want some quiet time, I just need to breathe. सीधा कोको मेलन लगा के रख दो, बच्चा ऐसे ही बैठ के ऐसे like a
Yeah.
full
A
blown.
zombie.
अरे नहीं,
Because
nowadays parents have started showing off. He's not seen a screen. 3 साल का बच्चा है. He's never seen a screen in his life yet. It's a flex now.
It's the
No,
yet
but-
that's going to get them.
But that's
Yeah.
a minority
Hoega,
group. It's a minority group. Like
There's like 4 babies who haven't seen a screen.
yeah, the rest of I mean, we've seen so many, man, at malls. If you go to the food court, any food court, there'll be one family, there'll be one child, and there will be like one iPad. Oh, bro, there was
iPad.
iPad
like
game.
Neville and I, we were in Dubai. Okay, we'd gone for the show, and then after that, we were at a mall. All right, we're at Shake Shack.
Because
And
where else will you
there's-
be?
Shake Shack. Please
Dubai,
tell me
Dubai.
they changed the logo there.
Dubai
No, they
itself is
didn't.
a Shake Shack. So
Yeah.
so we're at the Shake Shack and there's a family in front of us. Okay, we're waiting in line to order, and this family, so the mom and dad are in the line, and the kid is beside them. Okay, they have given him an iPad. Okay, so he's glued to the iPad as he waits for the parents to order. Now, here's the state of like here's how much the industry has accepted kids with iPads and stuff. There is now a protective cover that is made specifically for children. Okay, it's a massive thing. Okay,
It makes it a
ऐसा पकड़ने मिलता है,
suitcase.
हाँ.
It's a frame with like a suitcase type thing, so which folds, and it's like rubber with plastic, so that even if it drops, like you throw it, it doesn't
No,
hit,
and-
doesn't break.
yeah, exactly. So it's basically child proof. This kid can do anything with the iPad and nothing will happen to it. And this child is trying his best in Shake Shack to break this iPad.
ऐसा दबा रहा है दीवार के खिलाफ, उठा रहा है, तो ये सब कर रहा है, वो निकल ही नहीं रहा है केस बेचारा.
And all the while he is not looked up because he is just
Transfixed.
locked in. Yeah, locked in onto the content.
Yeah.
So
Bro,
But I-
my friend's son, he was over. हम और अभी क्या 2 सेकंड के लिए फोन चालू कर दिया, ठीक है, बिकॉज वो एक कोई जवान के गाने पे ही लाइक्स डांसिंग. सो ही रियलाइज अरे गाना चालू हुआ, उसने देखा स्पीकर से नहीं आ रहा है, फोन ढूंढ रहा है, फिर उसको मेरा फोन देखा, उसने जाके फोन लिया, एंड देन दैट्स इट, बिकॉज नाउ हुक्ड 1.5 ऑलमोस्ट 2
Wow.
between 1.5 2. Okay, लिया फोन, बैठ गया, and from that track which has Jawan ka music playing, he has gone to Coco Melon, to Wheels on the Bus, because it's not like it's in my last searches that oh he just clicked something.
it'd be hilarious if it was.
No, exactly. It would be, right?
Thakur in his free time. He is on the bus.
And
go
suddenly,
around.
because of the last podcast, now he's just watching banyan ads.
That's what you would assume कि वो बनियान का ऐड देख रहा है, right? क्योंकि वो मेरे लास्ट इतने पूरे हिस्ट्री में वो खुद गया है, and it's not like खुला पहले ऐड था, क्योंकि जो अकाउंट पे था उसमें प्रीमियम नहीं है. इमीडिएटली राइट साइड पे जिधर स्किप बटन आने वाला
चल
है,
रहा है,
उधर 5 4 3 2 1 हो रहा है, वो उसको क्लिक कर रहा है, फिर उसने वो क्लिक किया, देन ही नोज वेयर टू गो, वेयर द बुके ऑफ द नेक्स्ट फ्यू वीडियोस कम. Dude, it was blowing my mind. This kid is like a year and a half. My mom
Yeah.
still can't do this, I feel.
मैं
Yeah.
year and a half
You know
में
what I
I
mean?
got to figure out how to put a fork in my mouth without damaging some body part. Like मेरे को
Yeah,
fork
and then
नहीं
you put it
देते
in your eye, because
Eye.
that's what we did when we were 1.5 years old.
No, but from an addiction standpoint, I think, I was reading something about this, that the video medium is something that is extremely addictive only because of like the dynamic nature of what's happening. Now, you would imagine that people would be happy with just a screen. It's not. Research and all is now showing that that kids want to watch content that cuts really quick, which is why you're making it shorter and shorter, because they want to get through
Yeah.
it. I'll give you an example. I was watching Ice Age, okay, with my nephew. Okay, I was watching Ice Age, and as we were watching Ice Age, this is what has happened. Literally, he has watched it. He's like, this is the scratch scene, the opening scene where they look with the
With the
acorn.
nut.
Yeah, with the
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
acorn, all of that, right? sorry, not the scratch, that squirrel with the acorn. All this is happening in the beginning. He's like, okay, I get it. Let's move, chop, chop. Like, let's go. Like, let's move. He's gotten fed up, right? So he move. And then, the setup where, that human settlement where the baby is born and, John Leguizamo's sloth and Ray Romano's mammoths are walking and they're discussing and this, that, and that. He's like, yeah, okay, what's happening? Tell. How can you get
kid
bored
will
in
never
Ice
sit
Age?
through a Quentin Tarantino film.
No, I'm
He
saying,
can
how
never
can
sit
you
through
get...
a-
Fuck that. I'm saying, how can you get bored in Ice Age?
I don't know. Ask him.
So
I
it's
still get
just...
entertained with Ice
Baba,
Age.
for
Yeah.
him, that
Meko
movie was
to-
made in the Ice Age. You know this, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's ancient.
But it's still narrative, right, Kautuk? It's not like it's...
Yeah,
it's like...
we've lost. Yeah, a lot of people have like it's like. So one trick I started employing in like I would do a cut within the first 2 seconds of a video, and I measured how in views that one would get way more views than the one that I had a slower cold open or something like that with. It is bizarre, and it was just I would just cut 1 second, so there's
I'm
that
not doing
jump.
all this, huh,
It
guys?
makes you feel. It makes you feel like there was a cut, even though I didn't really
Wow.
So are a lot of 2-year-olds watching your videos, Aadar?
cut. The ones that I collab with Tanmay Bhatt on, yes.
Yeah, but okay, let's continue with addictions. What else is there?
तो मैं बोलता हूँ मेरा सबसे गंदा addiction which I wish I never had is smoking. Okay, because like see, addiction can happen like different types, right? One is if you're already genetically predisposed to addictions, right? That is one of the ways it happens कि तू genetically predisposed है. दूसरा है तेरे पास you actually have an underlying mental problem leading you towards it because that causes anxiety, and the only way you feel sort of safe or to distract yourself from it is you will get onto anything.
I'll talk about the psychology of addictions
Yeah,
later, but yeah, like I understand genetic disposition, which is why I have such a I don't know if it is psychologically ingrained, but that's why I don't drink. My dad was an alcoholic, so I think my biggest fear is कि मैं पिएगा तो मैं रोकेगा ही नहीं type. But
तो मेरा उल्टा हुआ
funny.
मालूम है. My dad smokes, okay, and when I was younger, I remember I would throw his cigarette packets away. The balls in me to take my dad's cigarette packet that he is earning and paying for and throwing it. ठीक है? And he would like, मेरा cigarette packet किधर है? चुप. He doesn't know I'm doing it. मैं वो कर रहा था. वहां वो करने से to steal that one cigarette from his packet and go in the balcony, shut the door, lock it, go to your balcony window, lock it, and then ऐसे hang करके फूको ताकि घर पे किसी को मालूम ना पड़े. Okay, from that I remember when I smoked that 555, मेरा head ना ऐसा घूम रहा था.
555 was
shit.
not a cigarette to smoke when you were starting out.
No, I was like
Yeah,
15,
damn.
16. I tried it also very late. Anyway, so I did that and my head started spinning and I'm just like, what? Is this what my dad feels every time he smokes? Like, why?
How is your
Why?
dad
Yeah,
standing? Huh?
why? How is he? Yeah, exactly. How? When I see him smoke, he's just like standing and talking. So you mean that this is happening to him in the head, but he's just standing. And I said, "Chad, उसको भी मैं 3 ट्रैक लेके फेंक दिया. फिर भी I didn't get hooked. I reached degree college. Then it became like, oh, you're with your friends. Somebody's so, hey, bro, you want one? So, hey, I'll take a drag. And, you used to go to parties and you would like mouth fag, literally. You're not even smoking. You didn't know anything about it. I was already much later than a lot of other people I know. Hey, Marlboro, then just because that's all you had heard. To mouth fagging, to actually being allergic to smoke. If you put me in a smoke wala environment, I start sneezing and coughing. So, in spite of all of these issues, suddenly it's come. I'm 36 years old and I'm a smoker. And it's fucking horrible. And there are times when you're just like, bro, why? Like, why can't I just switch it off? Like I've been able to sort of muster the willpower to do a lot of other things that I thought I couldn't do. Cigarette क्यों नहीं कर पा रहा?
Yeah.
थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, फिर बढ़ जाता है.
What is your personal answer? Why do you think you've not been able to do it?
One is I feel the lack of willpower suddenly, especially for this, because I think there's that underlying thing of maybe I don't want to do it, even though I know I should do it, even though it is
Should
the
and
right
want
thing
two
to
different. Should and want is the fine line.
Exactly. So like you're always teetering on that. कि अच्छा अच्छा नहीं बहुत खराब है. it actually proven studies, not even hearsay कि अरे तू ऐसे करेगा ना तो में भिंडी खाने से ही होता है, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, प्रॉपर तेरे पास 100 150 साल की रिसर्च है, तूने देखा है, तूने मुकेश को देखा है क्या हुआ, इतना सब हो गया है आजू बाजू.
अरे बैक पे
फिर
वार्निंग
भी
है.
but to देखा तू as a smoker when you see that dirty ugly picture on the thing, the first time it's oh shit it's disgusting, second time around you can't even see it because your mind and your eyes just they block it. It looks like a design. You don't see
Looks
it.
like a design.
Literally.
It's so far from what they wanted it to be.
Exactly.
It's artwork.
The only other time eyes went to it is when they put John Terry's picture on it. विद दैट उसका देखा ना कोई इंटरनेट डाल दे सीधा जॉन टेरी का फोटो, तब मेरे को फक जॉन टेरी ये कभी आया, इसके पहले तो कोई ऐसे ये वाला था कुछ, अभी वो चेंज हो गया. सो आई थिंक दैट फॉर मी इज वन थिंग आई जेन्युइनली विश आई नेवर गॉट इनटू, और इवन इफ आई डिड गेट इनटू आई वाज एबल टू pull myself out of it. I still try sometimes, but yeah, that's it's bad. So if you smoke, don't smoke. And
I agree.
if you can hypnotize people, please hypnotize me so I also stop.
अरे hypnosis doesn't work. I know people who've like friends of
No,
mine who've
so
gone through
again,
hypnosis.
Aadar, it's
एक
not
महीने के लिए
about-
चलता है.
No, it's not that it doesn't work. There are different mindsets. I can't seem to remember the right word to say it, but different mind types is the best way I can explain it. Where hypnosis works and it doesn't work. So, you have to be in a position to receive it. That's first of all it, which means that you have to allow yourself to be in a position that, okay, I don't mind letting myself go, or I trust this person. All of that.
So it's like Star Wars. It's like these are not the cigarettes you're looking for. Just
I wish it was as simple as that, but yeah.
it works on the simple mind.
Yeah,
If you're
maybe if you
strong-willed-
insist. That's the thing, right?
It'd be
Like that.
hilarious. Like you come out of hypnosis and you're like, dude, I don't feel like smoking a cigarette, but I also feel like acting like a chicken. What is this trade-off?
But I know people who it has worked.
Who are acting like
And I
chickens.
know people who these people said, hey, hypnosis works, so why don't you go and try it? And when they went, the second person went and did it, it didn't happen. And one of the things I remember them saying was that for you need to want it genuinely for it to make a difference getting hypnotized.
Okay.
Apparently. I haven't tried it yet, but this is what I heard from people who've tried it. And you know who I'm amazed with? I'm amazed with people who can just like cold turkey. Because you'll ask a lot of smokers, hey bro, how did you quit? Cold turkey. मतलब एक दिन सुबह उठा बोला आज से नहीं पी रहा और नहीं पिया. I said, but bro, by the end of that day, how many people did you kill? Because you want to kill. You straight up want to like strangle somebody because you don't know what to do.
But
your brain is just fucking wired to like, oh, I can't start my day, or I can't. Oh, I've had lunch, so now I need.
अरे लोग टॉयलेट नहीं जा पाते. I know people who cannot go to the toilet anymore. It's like नहीं होएगा ही नहीं.
Yeah. I had an uncle who smoked literally just one cigarette.
Sorry.
To get it
Every
started.
Yeah, literally and it was literally like one cigarette in the loo,
like-
and that's it.
Sir,
And
आपने
because
ये सब
he-
गोल ट्राई किया? नहीं, I cigarette works.
no, it's
Funnily enough, though, I've never needed cigarette for good bowel movements. सुबह को अपने आप बिना सिगरेट के हो जाता है. But when I sit down and try and think कि अभी दिन में जितना भी सिगरेट पी रहा है, right? उसका reason क्या है? Because what is addiction? Addiction is just the lack of dopamine, and then you chase it because you want to feel that dopamine rush. And your brain, literally, when you get addicted to stuff, I read this really killer article where they spoke about there's actually physiological changes in your brain.
yes.
Because your brain is able to accept reward only when you do said activity. It could be cigarette, coffee, TV show, sex, gambling, fucking name it, anything. So I was thinking कि जब भी cigarette पीते क्या है? Then you realize half the cigarettes you're smoking for no real reason, right? You're bored, you smoke. You are, oh, I'm going to get busy, I smoke. You'll smoke. Hey, I'm traveling, fuck यार 1 घंटा जाना है, smoke. अरे यार अभी जल्दी पहुंच गया, क्या करूं, कुछ नहीं है, चल स्मोक. बैठ के बात करना है, स्मोक. अरे दारू पी ले, चल स्मोक. अरे अभी तो खाना खाया, अभी तो सिगरेट पीना पड़े. क्या है ये?
You know what I love about the current culture and smoking is that earlier back in the day you could smoke anywhere, anyhow, no one gave a fuck, right?
On planes next
Yeah.
to babies.
So now they've made in a lot of offices, lot of buildings, they've made like smoking illegal. They've made one designated place.
Which
Yeah.
is literally
And it's-
outside the fucking building.
It's always the worst place, okay? But yet you'll see gangs of smokers, right? Trooping
Happily.
across, like
Happy.
stairs चढ़ रहा है, like balcony के ऊपर जा रहा है, window के through जा रहा है, just
5 मिनट का ब्रेक है, मैं सुसु करूं, पागल है क्या? चल नीचे जा, उधर कोपची में, उधर कचरे के डिब्बे के बाजू में उन्होंने
लोग
एक
ट्रैक
स्मोकिंग
पे जाते,
और
Yeah,
ट्रैक
yeah.
पे
जा जाके
So-
ले रहे सिगरेट, कहाँ से हम
it
लोग
takes you
जाके
15 minutes to get to the goddamn designated smoking zone, and then 15 minutes back,
Hmm.
and you're willing to make this happen.
Yeah.
all the while melting in the heat.
So it's fairly interesting, the physiology of it, right? Like the fact that you need. It's also very crazy where when you start to or attempt to quit, and the best way to do it from whatever experiences I've also had is cold open. Is cold
Cold open.
turkey.
It is cold open.
cold turkey. Most of your problems in life are the cold open.
जब भी सिगरेट पीने का मन किया, हाँ तो बॉयज
Cold
क्या
open.
चल रहा है आजकल?
Guys, it's 1:30 in the morning. Fuck it. Okay, so it is cold turkey. It's very hard and all of that, but and what's happening? So this, I want to kill people, all of this jazz. It's all seeded and rooted with one thing, and that one thing is I want to not be a smoker. If the brain accepts that one idea when you incept it, right? Like it's, you have to pause, you have to incept the simplest possible idea in the brain, as Nolan said, right? So if you say that I don't want to be a smoker, and you went into into it, the justification that your brain gives you when you want to actually kill someone, which is a physiological reaction, is it's okay. It's because you're not smoking, because you're not a smoker. So you need to get through this. That person is not worthy of dying. Like it makes a justification, as opposed to the other side where it makes a justification so easily to want to smoke. Right?
50 crore reason है to want in your head. Now, if you have to convince yourself you want to do said thing, you can make up anything.
And you know what the best one is?
Anything.
You know what the best one is? Just one. That's the best one.
Hmm.
But that's for everything, right? Arey, just one more cigarette. Chal na, just one last episode.
Just one last kesar peda, please.
केसर पेड़ा.
So
तो अगर केसर पेड़े को addicted है ना,
No,
अगर
but
तू
sweets are real. I'm sorry. Sweet addiction.
Sweet.
is a
sweet
thing.
addiction is there.
And
But to
केसर
अगर
पेड़ा
very-
is within the
sugar
alphabet.
is a thing. Yeah.
if you're specifically like, मुझे बाकी से स्वीट्स पसंद नहीं है, लेकिन केसर पेड़ा अगर किसी ने निकाला तो भाई मैं
So मेरा क्या birthday पे, every birthday was like, so अभी मेरा like birthday happened. It was like, there's a cake that is not touched by anybody in the house, which is, this is the Aadar cake. So it will be that 1 kg cake that मैं अकेला 1 kilo खाएगा.
Holy
And
shit.
the justification was, and yeah, we used to do this while watching matches also. Back when I used to actually follow football, हम लोग रात को 11 बजे मैं और मेरा दोस्त hangout पे जाते थे. This is bakery in Lokhandwala. We used to go to hangout. We used to get 2 cakes, and we used to sit in his house.
like cake, like not ice cream, but fucking
Cake.
straight up cake.
Cake. हाँ. And दोनों फोक लेके बैठे हैं और रात के 11 बजे से 2 बजे तक हम लोग बैठ के मैच देखे, and just with the fork, we're just going.
That's a
at
lot
the
of cake.
Yeah.
But dude, I also feel
तेरा
I feel so-
इंसुलिन ऐसे ये कर रहा होगा तेरा इंसुलिन.
And then सुबह प्लान भी बना रहे हैं, सुबह जाके स्पिनिंग करेंगे हम लोग.
Also, Thakur, can you think of the guy at Hangout? Right, Aadar has walked in. He's like, "मेरे को 2 cake चाहिए." Sir, कुछ लिखना है. Happy birthday. नहीं.
मैनचेस्टर, मैन्यू लिख, दोनों पे मैन्यू लिख.
एक दिन उसने देखा कि आदर पिछले 6 साल से रोज आके रात को एक पूरा केक लेके जाता है, तो उसने आउट ऑफ कंसर्न लिखा है ऐसे पूरा केक खाना बनकर
बस डॉक्टर का नंबर. It's just a doctor's number.
Oh, fuck, dude.
टाइप 2 हो जाएगा तुझे.
But when did you stop? When did you become healthy, Aadar?
नहीं, I was healthy. This was super healthy. Both of us at that
that
time
is
were
that is another
peak
thing true
physical
with
health.
all addictions. अरे कुछ नहीं है
I
भाई,
can function.
मैं I'm fucking high
We were
functioning
working
यार.
out 2.5 hours a day. We could have done. I was on a like I could have. My threshold was 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. So it was very easy to eat that cake.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing with ice cream. And I was also working out for 2.5 seconds.
No, but if you're gaining, you actually have to have ice cream. Though your
No, no.
trainer
Yeah.
will tell you. Oh,
Gaining. If you're gaining what?
Oh yeah,
Gaining.
this
Gain.
guy from
Bro,
what's his
my addiction used to
Always
be ice
Sunny.
cream. My
Yeah.
addiction used to be ice cream to a point where I used to be doing a 500 ml, whatever that half kg tub, at least twice a week.
Yes.
Not once a week.
I've seen it.
Like I used to do the whole tub in one sitting.
You were doing the
So-
ice cream once a week and also the bathtub.
Uh, so it was just really, 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 really bad. And then I was like, there was that, and then there was the Coke Zero phase, right?
मेरा वो
Which
अभी भी चल रहा है.
I used to do one Coke Zero after every meal, no matter what happened. And I was like,
Oh,
no,
that is problem.
Oh,
that
every
also
meal
has-
is
One a
huge
day
problem.
maybe. Yeah.
no.
So मेरा
that also has
Snacks के
stopped.
बाद भी?
Huh?
Snacks
No,
के
no,
बाद
no.
भी? चाय के बाद?
Learns dinner. Learns
चाय
dinner.
के बाद
Learns
भी
and
But I
dinner.
think my only addiction now that holds, and I'll talk about other things later, but the only addiction that holds even today, and I don't think it's an addiction I want to break. I don't think it's an addiction.
It's
will
porn.
No, it is.
Porn.
It is.
Everybody wants to hear porn.
It is.
Just say it, porn. Just say porn.
It is.
Yeah,
it
Baba.
is.
Just
It is
porn.
porn, guys. No.
Oh, okay.
Yes!
We knew it.
It
I
is.
knew it.
If you're a
It's
true
chai.
Baba simp, please find.
It's what
No,
time?
It's chai.
Oh,
So I am
Oh, chai.
like this early morning. I don't have most people have cups or mugs of chai. I have jugs of chai.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, same.
So, but, like I have a mug that is 500 ml, and then I have a takeaway cup which is 250 ml, and my chai has lactose-free milk and sugar in it. But I cannot survive without my chai. I just cannot.
Thakur,
I
it
will-
is really.
I see your chai and raise you my coffee. Same. Cannot.
Cannot.
मतलब तू बिलीव नहीं करेगा, मेरा मशीन बीच में एक हफ्ते के लिए खराब हो गया, ठीक है, और ऐसे नहीं कि हम कॉफी बना नहीं सकते, बट नॉट ओनली इज दैट एडिक्शन फॉर कॉफी देयर, it's to make the coffee in that specific espresso
The
machine
whole-
and
the fun of it.
hence get that proper flavor that वो तेरे को डिप वाले कॉफी या पाउडर वाले कॉफी या उसमें मजा नहीं आएगा, और मेरे को बैठ के फ्रेंच प्रेस एरो प्रेस नहीं करना, मेरे को यही वाला चाहिए. एक्चुअल ऐसे कुछ होता था मालूम है कि नहीं, and I used to think of it as a joke because I was never addicted to coffee before this ever. This started during, like, it's been 3 years 4 years. उसके पहले मसाला चाय पी रहा था अदरक के साथ भर के पेटी पैक, बंद. मैं चाय पिया नहीं हार्डली, लेकिन अभी हम लोग कॉफी ऐसे पागल जैसे पीते हैं.
Are you the guy who can? Are you someone who can do, like, for me? I can't do bad chai, but I'm okay doing average coffee. I'm assuming for you it is you can do average chai, but you can't do bad coffee.
Bro, there's
I can't
nothing
do
worse
either.
than average. There's nothing worse than average chai, bro. No.
So I can't do
अच्छा
average.
चाय पियो.
Dude,
I'm
there is one.
कड़क चाय चाहिए. हाँ.
There is one type of chai that you get on set, right?
Yeah.
Where one guy comes and he's like chai with one full stack of small cups.
Cutting का cutting.
Bro, but that
Chai-wali.
chai is this much sugar, this much water, this much milk.
Milk.
That's the chai.
And no chai.
And no chai.
No chai.
Exactly.
The only chai you'll find is the one that he's kept next to it to tell you that this is a chai ka stall. वो डाला नहीं है
हाँ.
उसने कुछ.
And exactly, and I feel like on set you have it only because okay, I just need one spurt of energy to get through
You
the
need
next,
glucose.
the
Yeah.
next 20 minutes, and then I'll dekh lenge.
Hmm.
So
You know what's a better source of glucose? Cake.
Yeah, but not 1 kilo of it.
Yeah. I have my
can't-
cake and eat it and eat
You know,
too.
there's bro, but you know, there's something about 1 kilo cake that if you have to picture somebody eating 1 kilo cake, it just feels like you're eating like
अरे
this.
हाँ, it's not.
ऐसे
It's a
कि
very
गिर रहा है.
formal affair. It's a very formal affair for us. हम लोग बहुत dignified way में खाते थे.
But तू
the thing
पीस
was-
काट के खाता था कि तू सीधा केक ही पेलता था?
No, it's just the cake is your plate. And उसी पे खा रहे हैं. And to the point where my friend's mother used to sometimes come and watch us. Is like, what is wrong with both of you? It was shocking for her to see her son and क्योंकि वो केक का वो जो शाइनी वाला प्लेट होता है गंदा सा, वो जो कार्डबोर्ड
Yeah.
का उससे खा रहे सीधा दोनों.
She's like, I
Shit,
wish
man.
y'all were doing anything else, but y'all are eating
Yeah.
cake, you know.
Next day दोनों बैठे.
Then she's like, oh, thank God, heroin. Oh, that's
No,
good,
so
that's good.
okay, let's
अच्छा वो
just
केक नहीं खा रहे थे तुम 1
No,
किलो.
but sorry, Baba. Just to this reminded me of one story where so right in the early days, okay, when we had just discovered drinking, okay, so me and my friends, we were like 17, 18, something like that, okay. So we used to do this thing where we would sneak a bottle of alcohol into one of whosever house it was, and then we would mix it, and we would also buy Coke to show parents, and then we would mix the alcohol in the night
वो तो मिक्सर तो लेना ही है.
yes. So one particular stay over, we're at this one particular friend's house, okay, and we've bought a 2 liter Coke, okay, and we've had it with this alcohol, finished it, okay. Next morning, we're all hungover. His father walks into the room, okay, and he sees this empty bottle of Coke, and he holds it up and he's like, "I hope you didn't finish this by itself."
I don't think the
He's
Coke is
like,
the
"दारू
problem,
तो
sir.
पी ले इसके साथ."
I don't think the Coke is the problem, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that alcohol. Did you ever think? Were you guys ever addicted, so to speak, for short bursts to alcohol? I think
Never.
that initial discovery phase is there, right? When like
Never for
18,
me.
18 or at least for me, I remember it was less the addiction of the alcohol itself, more about all the fun that came along
Social
with it.
interaction.
You know, because that's another like peer pressure, social causes is another reason for addiction that you
Social
start
causes.
yeah, it is a social cause that if you're in a specific surrounding where people are doing that, you feel you have to do it to become a part of it, and in the course of you doing it, you become addicted to it. You know what I mean? So
I found alcohol very late in life. Very, very
yeah,
late.
we
After
know because
25.
we gave you your first big shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
So we remember.
Dude, I went to a wedding recently and there
That was
this
also
eco
a wedding.
uncle. हाँ, but ये अंकल, एक अंकल होता है जो दारू का बॉटल लेके सबके मुंह में डाल रहा है, which is very common occurrence. Now, the first time in my life this happened where he put a shot, whatever, वो सर में डाला, and the next thing he did was
सर में
shut
डाला?
my nose. He pinched my nose. What the hell? ये कब मैं थूक देता उसके मुंह पे सारा. I grabbed his hand and वो अंकल थोड़ा डर गया with the force with which I pulled his hand back. He was like, I'm about to hit him now. Because नाक कौन बंद करता है बिना बोले?
But bro, that was the perfect opportunity for you to spit. And none would be wiser. None the wiser.
But you
whatever.
chose to swallow. Come on, man.
Yeah, bro. सीधा थूक देता ना क्या कुछ देखो
हाँ.
हॉल पास था.
But what is this shit? How is that helping?
I don't know what weddings you're going to, Aadar. I'll be honest.
नहीं अच्छा.
Yeah, no.
This is a Punjabi wedding. This is a proper Punjabi wedding.
That doesn't guarantee good. पंजाबी wedding है तो कोई तेरे को पिलाते हुए तेरा नाक बंद करे तेरी सांस रोक रहा है. ये क्या?
I don't know
You know
what it is.
something?
It'll go into my lungs. I don't know what the fuck that is supposed to do.
One of the things, by the way, about alcohol specifically, right, that sort of like it lends itself almost to alcoholism is that with alcohol in particular, people are proud of their capacity and you know the fact कि अरे मैं तो 6 ड्रिंक पी लूंगा कुछ नहीं होगा. You know, it's that.
No,
Right.
there's a whole conversation
अभी तो
about
रात शुरू
Patiala
हुई है.
peg. The peg is bigger. Then it's some like whatever 30, 60, 90. Some I will have a double, quadruple.
And exactly, and it's just fueling each other's alcoholism, right? अरे मैं 6 ग्लास पीता हूँ तू 7 ग्लास पी रहा है अभी मैं 8 ग्लास पीऊंगा और तू 9 ग्लास पिएगा. It's that. So it just and
और college में flex था how little you remember of the night for it to be great night. Bro, I fucking had what a night. Hey, what do you do? I don't remember. You
Yeah.
know, it was good. I
But-
threw up here, I threw up there, I made out here, threw up there.
Why you
something like that.
Vicky?
I don't
My
remember.
favorite line in my like growing up in college was this one dude, इसका birthday था, and he was like, I will drink so much tonight till I'm someone else's problem.
Great line.
hilarious.
Great line.
वही रात को किसी ने उसको छोड़ देना चाहिए था ऐसे मरीन लाइंस पे मरीन
नहीं
ड्राइव.
वो तो लेके ही जाते हैं ना. मैं तो क्लब में I've gone to like clubs where you enter and कभी तुम थोड़ा लेट जाओगे ना. So I saw like a group of boys, 5 drunk boys, trying to navigate one friend who's passed out into a taxi.
Oh,
तो उनने उबर बुलाया है. Now one guy
ऐसे-
जमीन पे लेट गया. हाँ वो टायर पे सपोर्ट लेके पास आउट. Now 4 drunk friends who have no coordination amongst them are trying to pick him up and put him in the back seat
Ram him into.
Dude,
and
this is
ramming
the-
his head over and over again.
This is what's it called? Arey, what is that movie with Satish Shah as the dead person? Arey, come on, जाने भी दो यार.
हाँ,
जाने
जाने
भी
भी
दो
दो
यार.
यार.
But dude,
So,
you know,
yeah.
like, and you know,
Dude,
funny enough, for all the fun that you have on alcohol, right? Alcohol is an actual depressant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It,
Okay, but
like
it has
the-
one. It has the reason why it's fun is
देखो क्या
because-
लगता है इतना आतिफ असलम के गाने क्यों चलते?
I know,
No,
correct.
nahi, but-
there is a curve to it, right? Like in the initial thing, it just lowers your inhibition and makes you feel amazing, right? Because like
Amazing,
for
yeah.
once,
it's
for
liquid
once you're
courage.
not-
Liquid
Exactly.
courage at that time.
exactly. So no, but the other thing about alcohol is that I remember thinking about this, right? I think everyone has this thought in their 20s, especially when it comes to friends, right? Where you voice this out also at some point. Is it not possible for us to have fun in each other's company without alcohol
Always.
anymore?
Always. Yeah.
Like, do we really need to be?
Do you need some substance
Drunk.
for me to talk to you? Is 25 years of friendship not enough? No,
Not enough.
Not enough.
and it gets I'll just also come to I think we should also talk about like the seriousness of addiction, considering we've been talking about this episode for almost 40 minutes now, and we're nowhere close to serious. This sentence that you've just said, which is about, is it not enough that we know each other for 25 years, that we need a
A
catalyst,
social
to-
lubricant.
like a catalyst to make our conversations peppier.
Happen. Yeah.
You think अगर दारू का ad होएगा and it's like the conversations happening, two guys who are just not interesting, and then it's like, then Rahul Dravid shows up. ये लीजिए
Engine oil.
आपके friendship को
You've got it
engine oil
fully. Other, there was an ad. It's called खूब मिलेगा यार जब मिल बैठेंगे तीन यार.
खूब
आप
जमेगा रंग.
That
खूब
only.
मिलेगा यार जब
Whatever.
मिलेंगे
मिलेगा
रंग,
यार.
जब
So I have,
होगी जंग.
I have,
हाँ,
I have
क्या भावा कैसे जा रहा है कॉपीराइटिंग सब ठीक चल रहा है
bro,
हाँ?
full dementia.
खूब
vibes.
मिल
Ask-
खूब मिलेगा
ask
यार
Kautuk- ask
जब
Kautuk-
मिलेंगे तीन यार
Ask
Guys,
Kautuk how
okay,
scared
guys,
I am.
please write in the comments if you want us to do alternative alcohol ads that people are doing. We will do an episode on that as well.
Ask Kautuk how much I'm afraid of dementia, that what I am doing. I have fully now crosswording because I'm so scared of dementia. Because मेरे को कुछ याद ही नहीं है सब. The
Bro, and he forgets like basic words, like stuff like
I forgot
that thing-
satire.
No, that thing that people say to each other when they first meet each other. It starts with
क्या
H.
क्या चूतिए
H with-
कैसा है
Hello?
So anyway, okay, let's talk about the seriousness of addiction and this point that you said about the fact that what is it about the fact that we know each other for 25 years, but we still need a social lubricant to
Yeah,
pepper
we
the
call it a
conversation.
podcast.
Except we're not drinking yet. But and I think that's really where the seed of any sort of addiction lies, because if you are drinking with friends, it's very conveniently passed off as a social event, as a social thing that I do. And then you start to find, and here I'm speaking from somewhat like first, like 1 degree of
First time.
separation. Like my dad was this, right? So my dad started off with this thing of, I'm going out with a set of friends today, so I'm drinking. I'm going out with a set of friends, I'm start drinking. Then he found a new set of friends to go out every day, because road same set of friends ko nahi peene gaye. You know, so then you're finding a newer set of friends on a regular basis, and then it starts to become really debilitating because it becomes thing. So I speak about this with a certain amount of like knowledge of how bad it is, because when dad passed and we opened the cupboards and stuff, over there we found like it had become tharra, like there was narangi and mosambi and like, you know, those kinds of like desi daru and stuff like that. And it unfortunately had started a slippery slope. We saw the signs, but nobody did anything about it. To be honest, nobody really did anything about it. And it started off with, okay, I'll have a drink in the night to think. Now, that is not to say that somebody who drinks every night, one drink is an alcoholic. There is such a big distinction, and it's so fine that very few people tend to understand it. I think even within alcoholism, and if we're talking about just alcoholism, addictions are of various types, right? From shopping and gambling and anything that gives you a sense of dopamine, right? Sorry, making it a little serious, but I think that part of it needs to be addressed in a podcast where we're sort of talking about it, because even though none of us are professionals, it's important to understand that there is a very small, because you like doing something and maybe you do it often and you go on a bender or you go on a binge or you go on any of that, doesn't necessarily make you uh, addicted to that thing. It is when you are able to function with that thing and you are able to do your job and you are able to con the world around you that it is not affecting you. That's when it starts to become a problem, because then when you're lying to yourself, you're lying to people around you. That's when it starts to become a problem. And I think that little distinction of have I gone a little bit over the edge or am I addicted? And it's so hard and so difficult. Like, we tried to take that to Alcoholics Anonymous, but you have to have the willpower to want to change.
Yeah.
If you don't have the willpower to want to change, it's really not going to happen, because your brain is going to be able to find a way to think. And it's sad because it's not always in your hands, right? Thakur right at the beginning said that sometimes it's a it's a mental problem, it's almost a
Yeah, I mean, at some point,
predisposition that's in your
like
gene pool.
100%. Like, and the other thing about it is, like, for example, this is something that I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever, but I do know this much about me, that I have a addictive personality where I tend to, like, if I like something, then I'll go hard into it, right? If I really want to do something,
Indian Chinese.
I binge. Yeah. So I have that binging tendency, and I know that binging tendency escalates and snowballs into like a chronic problem, which is what addictions are. So for that reason, I'm very, like, sort of like, I think I've spoken about this before, but I'm very, like, aware of these tendencies. So for example, I don't have actively, I do not seek video games. I do not seek PlayStations. I do not buy them. I don't download anything on my phone or my laptop, because if I start gaming, then that becomes a thing I do. Then it, like, I really want to excel at it. Like, I really want
there
to,
was
and it
a
annoys me.
PUBG phase. I remember Kautuk's. I was touring
Yeah.
with Kautuk. This guy could, to the point where I decided to gift him those things
Yeah.
that you can clip onto your phones, where PUBG becomes convenient.
Yeah.
Because I'd
Yeah.
seen him so much, I was like, oh, clearly he'll enjoy this if I just buy this for him.
Kautuk, why is it that you've not bought a PlayStation?
Yeah, for the same reason. Because if I once I
Yeah.
go into that hole, I'm not coming out. I'm not writing. I'm not doing podcast. And I know this about me. I'll tell you guys. I know I'll message on the group saying, sorry, actually I'm writing, and then I'll be playing FIFA. And then when I have to write, I'll be like, sorry, I have a podcast, and I'll be playing FIFA. Right? Like, that's, I know this about myself. So I actively try to not do that. Like a second addiction I have, and this is a true addiction that I don't know what to do with, but it's there, it's part of me, which is that I am a hoarder of books. This is real. Listen, and I mean, it's one of the better addictions to have.
Yeah, I mean,
might
apart from
argue.
the space in your house, there's no real, oh shit, I'm getting too much knowledge and it's too much.
Yes,
Oh, fuck.
it's one of the better addictions to have, unless you're married to the person who has it, right? In which case, then, like, so Sidhi constantly is like, okay, look, like, I have done this thing, right? So just like an addict starts off with, okay, so I'll keep this much space for my books and you keep that much space for your stuff and books and all of that. And then slowly, like a proper true addict, you start encroaching. You start putting, I'll put 2 books or what here. I'll remove them later. I promise I'll remove. And then 2 books become 4 become, I have literally, like Lodha, I have just usurped her property.
And eventually, like, Sidhi, can I please take this? Let me just put the books in. Kautuk, that's my side of the bed. Like,
yeah.
I can't have you keep books there.
Dude, we have bought this thing. Look at that trolley. Like, it's a problem. Right now, I mean, the solution is move to ebooks, give away your books, etc. But And here's the thing, just to talk about hoarders, because part of this is, so there's one Japanese word, by the way, called sundoku, which is people who buy books without.
वो जो न्यूज़पेपर
I-
में आता है ना.
yes, exactly
हाँ.
that. So the thing about hoarders is that what hoarders do is that they attach they attach a
Emotional
personality.
relation, yeah,
Yes,
and an
they attach
emotional
a
relationship to
personality.
it.
So if you ask me about my books, I can tell you memories attached to each one. And then I'm like, इसको दे दूंगा तो वो चला जाएगा ना, वो जो खास मेरा और इसका जो relationship bonding हुआ है. And it's so stupid and irrational.
Bro, you're
But
talking about hoarding. I saw this one. I remember it was a documentary, and it was about hoarders and
yeah,
hoarders who have a genuine mental problem. Like
yeah,
it's a serious condition where तू book लेके रख रहा है ना, they are hoarding
everything,
anything.
everything.
Any मतलब ये मेरे 4th स्टैंडर्ड का सॉक्स है से लेके ये
Yeah,
मैंने परसों लिया एक बड़ा डब्बा है, उसके अंदर क्या है, कुछ नहीं, खाली है, लेकिन मेरे को
yeah,
अच्छा लग रहा है डब्बा. And the entire dump is around them, and there are bank in the middle.
yeah.
And in such cases, even interventions haven't worked, therapy hasn't worked. So that girl, I remember, it was a mid 40s old lady who was in that documentary, was talking about it. Her friends have come and tried to do an intervention. They listen, it's now getting out of hand. Family has done it. Doctor has not helped. And if I'm telling you the story and I can see the picture in my head, it's insane.
Yeah. No, it's a real thing. It's absolutely a real thing. Like, people can't fathom why it is. But what also tends to happen in these cases is that in a lot of cases, rather than, and this is true for all addictions, rather than address the issue, you will avoid the people.
Yeah.
So you will
Hmm.
turn against the people who love you the most. You will turn against well-wishers. You will think that what they are saying is actually not in
Is
your best
wrong.
interest, but they have some
Ulterior
agenda
motive.
against you,
Ulterior motive.
right?
Yeah.
So
Now-
and for hoarders specifically, it becomes a huge problem because increased isolation means increased attachment to things.
Hmm.
So which is why you'll see older people tending to have this hoarding issue. Because they're lonelier. You'll see that there's this very famous stereotype called the cat lady.
Yeah.
Right. As people get older, they have fewer emotional social relationships, and which is why they turn to animals. And that's a thing. It's a real thing where people will keep pets, will hoard, and not. I mean, you can't call it hoarding, but they will keep bringing in newer and newer, more and more animals until it's overrun.
And that's the what you're saying about this is there's another sentence that you said that I want to just catch and open, which is that or to use corporate parlance, let's double click on that. Where the thing that exactly, I agree. So the thing that you said, that little sentence of saying nobody really understands because it doesn't make sense to them. It's not supposed to make sense to you, because if it did, then you would be in the same position. The thing is, whatever the addiction, it is really not a great thing. And people again start to call it a weakness, and people start to call it this. A lot of times it is not that. In fact, a majority of the time it is not that. Just because somebody can't pull out of something doesn't necessarily make them weak. Like let's just the thing about you not being able to understand why someone gets addicted is because it's not about the how can you be addicted to hoarding things, because you're not addicted to hoarding things. You're addicted to what that means, right? Like you're putting a part of yourself in that. Or how can you spend so much money even though you don't have it, or swipe on your credit card and go into debt and constantly shop and this, that, and the other.
I think, Baba, what you're trying to say, it's not the thing itself, it's what is underneath it. Like
What
it's
it represents,
what
right?
it
Like,
represents.
Yeah.
so that is such an important
Distinction to make.
and to understand, to be able to break or truly understand addiction. It's almost this callous nature with which people treat it, by saying that, "Arey, he doesn't have the willpower, or she doesn't have the willpower to quit. Arey, what the hell," and all that. No, the first thing is not about willpower. The first thing is to understand why the person is doing it in the first place, because it is
You know
fixing
something?
something. It is actually, it is taking it is filling a void that is there of some type. And yeah, so it's
But
very difficult to
Baba,
understand.
this is in some cases, but in a lot of cases, if you're a smoker, it's not got some underlying thing also. You are a smoker because you've gotten into that habit of giving yourself that dopamine reward every time you smoke. So you are more addicted to the action. I'm not smoking because I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It 100% exists, but it'll be that specific kind of addiction. Like if I'm smoking a cigarette, doesn't mean I have childhood trauma or
No,
I have
absolutely not. But
you
there
know
is a,
like
but Tagore, I agree with you 100%. But it's got to do with, I am currently in a situation where I have all the knowledge in the world that this is bad for me. Every logical fiber of my being is saying, bro, put that cigarette down, right? Like every single thing that is logical. But yet, I'm not able to do it. It has nothing to do with, it is filling a void. Is it filling a void that is superfluous? Like,
yeah, it's not got some deep entrenched meaning to it,
no,
right?
it's
It's
not trauma. That's what I'm saying. It's not trauma. It's not always linked to trauma. It is all,
not
but
just
it is,
trauma, but any other underlying mental illness for that matter.
no.
Or like and some addictions come purely off of the physiological changes in your brain. Either way, like the point is
In
that
this case, it's
whatever,
nicotine.
yeah.
Dude, one other thing. So this is just to talk about and give a shout out to some of the people who are in the business of taking care of addicts and
Oh,
and
hats off.
helping them rehab effectively. I was watching this documentary about um, addicts in India who basically what they used to do is they used to go to your chemist, your pharmacy, and they used to buy over the counter medicines and get high on those, right? And it's a problem because तू literally pharmacy पे जा रहा है 30 रुपए लेके जो भी है you're getting high right now. And in this documentary they introduced you to some of the NGOs who were working to put these people back to rehab them. And dude, like always, this is the one thing I really cannot understand, and it truly is amazing, which is that there is nothing in it for these people, these caregivers.
Yeah,
There's nothing in it for them.
yeah.
If anything, it is misery. They have report, like repeatedly they'll say that, this guy, well, he's coming for the 5th time. But the crazy thing is, they never look at these people as anything less. They never say ki because you're here for the 5th time, which is why we won't, तू सुन
Be
रहा नहीं है
nice
तो
to
हम
you.
लोग क्यों करें. हाँ, they're like, okay, you're here for the 5th time, don't worry, this time we'll fix you. And that kind of unconditional optimism is just so
No,
baffling.
dude,
It's
this
so
happens,
crazy.
even when family members of that person have given up, have put their hands up, ki, we can't do it anymore. We tried,
Yeah, yeah.
we've done प्यार से बात करना, समझाना, पैसे डालना, चिल्लाना, like actually emotional, ये वो सब क्या नहीं हो रहा है. Now we've given up and just they've left that person.
Yeah, because
I'm sure we all know in our extended circle, people we know, whatever, people who've actually gone through this. I know people who've gone through horrible shit,
yeah, I mean, I have first-hand
right?
experiences.
Gotten
So,
gotten addicted at a very young age. Lived through that part where you had people around you who didn't point the folly in it, but partook in it with you, right?
Yep.
Not, I don't know if that's the word. Decided to partake in it with you. So when you see 4 other people doing the same thing you are, you're like, hey, they're also doing it. I'm also doing it. Automatic brain reasoning is like, chal na, wo bhi kar raha, main bhi kar raha, I don't feel as bad. Whereas if you were only that one person amongst those 5 का group who's doing it, at some point in time you would realize. But अगर सब लोग वही कर रहे हैं, तेरे को realize भी नहीं हो रहा है,
The
तू
company
करते
you
जा
keep.
रहा है, करते जा
Yeah.
रहा है, करते जा रहा है, and before you know it, fuck, it's too late. Then they've actually had like the courage, because I feel even going to rehab takes a lot of courage, because
100%.
Accepting the problem is half the solution.
first, kid, I have an issue. B,
So,
taking active measures to correct said behavior, whether it's going to therapy, going to rehab, going cold turkey, whatever, the thousand different ways
so my
that are
therapist
For
there.
a
just says
lot of
this.
time, cold turkey is one of the more dangerous things you can do on drugs.
It
where you're
depends.
trying to
Yes,
come
it
off.
depends on
Yeah.
what it is that you're doing cold turkey for. My therapist, for example, if I say that, you know, I want to recommend someone, the rule for him is very simple. He's like, you are not taking their appointment. They have to call me and take
Yeah.
their appointment. And it's not ego. It's not ego at all. He's like,
But that's a great way. That's a
so
great way to
it's
know who
First step.
really wants to
Yeah.
do it. First
Yes.
step.
Yes.
Superb.
he's like
Yeah.
that's so he's just simply that they have to call. Otherwise, otherwise it's like you are forcing them. And to say this thing about, you know, people who come in for the fifth time or the sixth time and family giving up and family thing is because I think people are not um they've not been sensitized to the to the it is almost like the best analogy, but I'm sorry, it's not the best, it's not a good analogy, but it is the best analogy that I can give you, because it's almost like you have a tear in a muscle, and you've been told by the doctor to not play for a certain amount of time, and you don't play for a certain amount of time, but you end up just someone's playing football on the street, and you decide ki एक एक छोटा किक मार के आता हूं, like I'll just touch the ball, I won't do anything else. and
Uh-huh.
and if you see it from that perspective, you start to realize that it is not a it's not a we treat them like outcasts. It's not about being an outcast. It's not a lot of times when it's the third and fourth and fifth and sixth time, the addiction is it's not something that's treatable. It's almost like a virus that just keeps doing the rounds in your body. And people do fall and people do trip, and as long as they are ready to get better, I think that's where the chance needs to be constantly given. It is
Yeah.
an entire There is an entire workforce, and I mean, honestly, I'm saying this for all four of us here, but none of us are qualified to talk about it psychologically and
Oh yeah.
give solutions. But like, I think the only thing we can do is be empathetic. Be empathetic towards somebody who seems like they have an addiction. Don't And there's such a thin line in confronting them and pushing them away, and indulging them to do more of it, because you want to be kind to them, but you also don't want to be like, because then, like Thakur said right at the top, they'll stop telling you. They won't tell you only.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also, shaming is by far like a
yeah,
really
it's never a solution.
it's a very double-edged because
Some
after a while
people
friends
respond to
start.
it, some don't. Yeah.
Yeah, some don't. And also as friends, after a while it's like, okay, I've seen you do this once, twice, thrice, keep falling off the wagon. After a while it's like, hey dude, I can't keep handling you. So then shame becomes the alternate because you don't want to break off the relationship. So it's like, nah, I will shame you into becoming better. But that pushes the person even more, and they'll just stop telling you and just go, like, they'll find another set of friends, even though, and then you will be that reserved, and you've now lost that opportunity to help your friend.
Yeah. Two more things to add to it. One is that there is no perfect way to get out of addiction. Like there is no like this is the model way to do it. Everyone has their own, much like anything else in life. You have your own graph and chart and your own progress to make it. It'll take your own time. So don't measure it based on anyone else's thing. And the second thing is that I think for a lot of things, it's not like it's once you overcome addiction, it's done. I think it's a process of constant vigilance, where you have to constantly be aware that you could at any point, even if it's been how many ever years that you've not done whatever you've done. Yeah, you can at any point you can start again, just the way that at some point you stopped, you can always get back to it. So you need to know very concretely what your reasons are for
No,
quitting.
and
No,
It's so funny, Kautuk, you and I were
towards
talking about this in Dubai, about the cyclical pattern of addiction.
But I think towards the end, like I remember again watching this in a documentary where they put it so nicely, where they said don't think about, oh, today I'm addicted to XYZ thing, or maybe join kar aur ho jayega, khatam ho
Ah,
jayega. No, you have to take one day at a time.
Yeah.
Just you have to tell yourself, today I am not going to. Don't say I'm not doing it for the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years. Today I'm not doing it. Then today gets over, then tomorrow I'm not doing it. It's literally, I mean, easier said than done, obviously. But this, in the documentary, when they spoke about it, it made so much sense that we start thinking, oh shit, if I don't do this for 3 months, then I'm going to be okay, right? No, you just don't do it on that day. Then you don't do it the next day, and
The
so
next
on
day.
and so forth. And then you keep trying, adding that one more day, and then hopefully ठीक हो जाएगा.
Let's
So
go.
जब भी अपन टॉपिक डिसाइड कर रहे थे, आई मीन ऑल सीरियस स्टफ असाइड, लेकिन जब भी हम लोग चालू कर रहे थे, द रीजन मैंने सजेस्ट क्यों किया था मालूम है? बिकॉज मैंने ऑनलाइन इंस्टाग्राम पे एक वीडियो देखा. ओके, इट्स फ्रॉम अ रियलिटी शो एंड इट्स कॉल्ड माय स्ट्रेंज एडिक्शन. इसके 6 सीजन है.
6 season.
6, ऐसा नहीं कि एक वही वन ऑफ वन एपिसोड, नो, 6 सीजन है. And the clip that I saw was a clip of this one episode where this dude is addicted to tuna, canned tuna,
Okay, I
canned
can understand the six seasons now.
canned tuna. He's addicted to canned tuna, and there is, video diaries with him where he is opening. He's literally saying, "I love canned tuna. I am addicted to it." उसकी माँ भी आ रही है अपने पीस टू कैमरा में बोल रही है, "Yeah, he just one day I got him. He ate it. He liked it so much that he just eats it all the time." To a point where he's talking about how addicted he is, and he's opening a can of tuna and he eats it, then slurps on the juice. And if that wasn't enough, that episode ends with him going on a date.
Oh,
He sits,
Oh,
girl sits, they're talking, and he just straight comes out of the door with this. And he's like, "Hey, I need to tell you something." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm addicted to canned tuna." And she's like, "What?" Like it's a very different pickup line. I've never really heard this type. He's like, "No, I love canned tuna," and proceeds to open the canned tuna.
oh my
और
God.
और पी जाता है, bro. I've never watched something and been able to smell and taste it at the same time,
It sounds only.
bro. It was, I'm sorry, but
What else
it
is
was
there? What else is there in
fucking
this?
disgusting. Oh, what else is there? I'll tell you. The pilot episode नहीं, हाँ, पायलट एपिसोड में है ईट्स टॉयलेट पेपर.
eats.
एपिसोड ईट्स टॉयलेट पेपर, दवेश public.
Used or not used?
Oh,
Oh, तो dry खा रहा हूँ.
Only,
In fact, for some reason,
only Baba could make it grosser than what it
Yeah.
already
No, I'm
is.
curious. Like, okay.
पता नहीं, मैंने एपिसोड नहीं देखा, ये मैं उसके सिनॉप्सिस पढ़ रहा हूँ. ठीक है, दूसरा एपिसोड थम सकर. थर्ड, ईट्स क्लेंजर हाउस होल्ड
dude,
surface
this is also a thing, na? This thumb sucker, the extension of thumb sucker is what Baba does, which is nail biter.
fuck, I
हाँ.
completely forgot, guys. Personal story time. मैं जब भी 5th स्टैंडर्ड में था, हम लोग के स्कूल में एक लड़का था. I mean, I don't want to dox him, but
His
ये जो
name is
बंदा है,
Satej
क्या
what?
उसका एड्रेस क्या था?
वो इधर अंधेरी वेस्ट में रहता है. हाँ, तो ब्रो, बट उसका आई हैव टू शो फिजिकल डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन. ये एक लड़का है, कोई भी लड़का, ये वरुण है, ठीक है, और ये वरुण का कान है, और मैं वो लड़का हूँ जिसके बारे में वरुण बात कर रहा है. So he would suck on his thumb and then hold the guy who's next to him his earlobe.
Oh, this is some kind of like. Oh,
I can't believe this came to me right now. Please, this is 100% true. मैं अभी 50 लोगों को फोन करके लग सकता हूँ, नो हाँ बोलेंगे ये सच है.
no, you don't have to justify.
He would suck on his thumb, and that's not me.
But how often would he do it? How often
But
would
what
he
was
do
the
it?
year? Why am I even trying to understand what this?
एक हाथ से वो दूसरे जो उसके, और हम लोग बॉयज स्कूल थे, ठीक है, अब जो उसके बाजू में लड़का बैठा है उसका ईयरलोब पकड़ रहा है और खुद एक हम,
But how often did he do this? When did he do this?
like all the time. I never sat next to him.
Did he do it to you ever?
No, we used to ask him, तू क्यों कर रहा है? He's like, मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, खत्म. I never got it. क्या ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, क्या ये अलग टाइप का
But
ये थंब
because
सकिंग एंड
I'm asking,
होल्डिंग इट?
did this happen during like an exam?
नहीं,
No.
नॉर्मल टीचर
Like
पढ़ा रही
he's
है, उधर
not
सिविक,
stressed. It's
उधर
not like
सिविक्स पढ़ रहे हैं, सिविक्स सिखा रही है टीचर, और ये कान पकड़े। शिट यार, मेरे को बहुत
ये
बैडली उसका नाम बोलना है, तो जो भी पंडित लोग मेरे स्कूल से उन लोग देख के बोले, अरे हाँ ब्रो, इसके बारे में तो भूल ही गए हम लोग। ये एक्चुअल था।
No, I don't think you need to give a name for them to remember this, because I think this is burned into. I'm sure they remember this.
Yeah.
No, at
Yeah,
least the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
whose earlobe he used to touch, he will be like, bro, +1. मेरे को मालूम है क्योंकि वो कान मेरे थे।
That's
तो
dumb.
हाँ, so then there's other
That's
stuff like
stupid.
laxatives. Person who's addicted to laxatives eats glass, but कांच खाए is public.
That's a small addiction, right? At
Yeah,
some
but
point,
this
it ends
doesn't
with your
seem-
life.
this doesn't seem-
Glass.
This is Ripley's Believe It or Not. I don't think it's an addiction.
Oh
नहीं, वो
wow!
होता ना, ट्यूबलाइट खाता था एक बंदा.
By
No,
the
but-
way, this season 2 episode 4 is top rated according to IMDb of this show, and the addiction showcased in that episode is one which all of us have. All of
Oh
us.
Lord! Wait.
All of us. And you know what
Is
that
it
is?
coffee?
It is.
Is it chai?
No,
Is
no,
it
no. It
phone?
is.
No,
It's
no,
very
no.
alag wala.
Content.
It's smelling gas.
Yes.
Gasoline. How many times
Oh.
have you gone to a
I
petrol
thought
pump and just
पाद smell कर रहा है.
Actually,
क्या?
actually मैं
तेरे को अच्छा
उतना
लगता है?
नहीं है फैन ना गैसोलीन का स्मेल का.
Bawa,
तू
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 बहुत hipster
बाबा
है.
तू पाद का है ना, लेकिन
Ah.
But only
But that's-
your
that's-
path, na?
but
Not
that's
Only,
actually a thing.
only your brand.
that's actually
only
thing.
your brand.
This is an old Austin Powers joke.
Why
then
are
the
people proud
everybody
of
likes
this?
their own brand, don't they?
Yeah. But that's true. Everybody loves the smell of their own fart, no matter how ghastly and dirty it is. It's true.
In fact, the
It's
ghastlier the better,
better.
Oh,
ऐसे
because you feel
और
disappointed sometimes, यार कि यार
और मैंने एक बार गूगल भी किया था कि why do people, मतलब क्या उसका साइंस क्या है उसके पीछे, और उसमें whatever vaguely I remember was it you feel proud of it कि वाह ये मैंने निकाला है. And I was like, really? I hope nobody else finds out कि ये
dude,
मैंने
but this
निकाला
is so true. The fact that like your like meaning what you feel about the fart changes
Hmm.
radically depending on how many people are nearby.
है. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
अगर तू खुद है तो वाह माशाल्लाह what a fart. अगर
माशाल्लाह.
एक और person आया ना उधर, तो then suddenly you're panicking like oh fuck, like it's there's only two of us who will.
Shit. There is one who's addicted to drinking urine. Wow. That's just dandy. उसके बाद है blood drinker. Blood drinker लिखा हुआ है. कौन से vampire को लिया उन्होंने एपिसोड में मालूम नहीं. But it's an actual series. My Strange Addiction.
And
Don't
here's the
watch
thing,
it.
right? A
Speaking
lot
of-
of these. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, acha, speaking of strange addictions, so that I started finding out what are the new hip weird drugs that are fucking up. There's one thing called the zombie drug.
Hmm.
Have you heard of this? It's a fairly recent problem in America.
Fentanyl, na?
Yeah.
Fentanyl
Where
has
the
become
person-
भारी epidemic.
Yeah, it's a
bro.
proper epidemic where people bend over and it's a weird thing. Everybody's bent over and they're literally in this weird zombie state. It is rotting the skin off. So that's why it's become this zombie.
They had something similar in Russia. It was called crocodile. It's where
Yes.
literally the method of taking it is through this like a dropper
Yeah.
that you put in your eye. मतलब
but if you
public
inject
नाक से
crocodile-
कर रहे, bro, लोग आँख से डाल रहे,
You know why that is?
and then your skin starts scaling.
No, it's in the area. So if you inject it, the area becomes like वो जो Game of Thrones में था ना वो.
हाँ,
those
ऐसे
people-
देखो
it
crocodile
becomes
की
scaly.
skin लगने लगती है, scaly लगने
Yeah.
लगता है. So that's why they call it that. There was one, bro, you know, Vice had done this was one of
I
the
was
old.
just going to say Vice.
There's
Yeah.
and this was their highest viewed video. I'm talking about like 6, 8, 10 years ago. It's the thing you get somewhere in South America where it's from a plant. उसका उन लोग चूरा बनाते हैं, अभी पाउडर बन गया है, तो वो आके तेरे सामने कर देंगे, और तू मतलब you'll just wake up fucking day after tomorrow not knowing what the fuck happened. But they literally make you do what they want. So they will do that. They will take you. They will get you to take your ATM pin. ये ले पैसा निकाल. तेरे को फेंक देगा. तेरे को घंटा को याद है उसके बाद.
So this is
So
by the way, this
that
is a
drug is
datura.
particular.
This is
Sorry,
Datura.
that is a particular drug apparently. It's
Datura
called
has DMT. DMT आता है. Datura. Ayahuasca है वो. That's different. That's not something
No,
you
so
can get
they-
addicted to.
They no, as in like, so they used to do this in robberies.
Scopolamine. It's called
Yeah.
scopolamine. It's
Scopolamine.
called the devil's breath.
Yeah.
Where and came from like Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela. So it started from there and it's a powder. So basically the person who is given this drug becomes it's called the perfect easy crime drug.
Yeah.
You will be very on for doing anything.
And with no memory of it.
You will, you'll just go with whatever is being told to you to just go and do it. Like they have no idea. They're just controlled by the predator.
I done one story in this season of Secondhand Stories about
Hmm.
in Haiti. They have a whole culture of creating zombies. Okay, and that's where the whole zombie thing comes from. And basically, they have witch doctors. They're called bokors, and the bokor. This is basically a study that one guy did. It's all sort of alleged and it's not fully proven, but essentially, they use a thing called tetrodotoxin to induce you into this. It literally, what happens with tetrodotoxin is that your heartbeat becomes almost imperceptible. So there was a guy who was declared clinically dead in a hospital. He was
Shit.
buried. Okay. And all this while, the dude is awake.
Oh,
He can
shit.
see.
He's aware.
He can see his sister crying. He can see the doctor saying he's dead. He's in the coffin. He can. All
But
of this
आँख
is.
कैसे आँख बंद है वो सब how is
His awareness is there. Like, so
Oh.
basically, that's what convinces people that they have become zombies. So it's a full, like, the story is absolutely nuts.
Yeah. But by the way, none of these are like addictive. Most
Yeah,
like
many,
the last
right
few,
now we've
yeah,
gone into one
we have
full
just gone
different-
into a separate topic that we'll do other. Let's not do more drugs
हाँ.
because we'll do cover drugs as a separate topic.
So we'll cover the drugs. Okay, there's I was like, now we're doing addiction and things like that, and I was like, there wouldn't be any room for a monkey fact in
Oh, come on.
in addiction.
There is.
And then I went down a rabbit hole. Actually, several animal dwellings. I
Holes.
went down several. So it's just
Aadar went down several animal holes. Good.
yes. So
Guess what
apparently
Adar's
this is-
addiction is?
I found studies. There's a study where now this study literal, like, what is the synopsis of the study? Nearly 1 in 5 monkeys preferred a cocktail of alcohol mixed with sugar water. I don't know who were these scientists who devoted their precious time.
They're just calling their colleagues monkeys because अपन उधर से आए.
So
This is
monkeys
probably
apparently
them.
vervet monkeys have developed a taste by eating fermented sugarcane. So they and a lot of monkeys actually store shit, like store specific fruits and let them ferment. They're intelligent enough
Oh.
to know that if we let this happen, so there are certain fruits that they can just store in the bark of a tree, like in the trunk of a tree, and then get to them later on. They're making their own alcoholic stuff. Then elephants. So elephants elephants in Africa wait for the marmot. Once again, I'm getting the name of the plant wrong. Marmula fruits, and
What do
they
what
go
does
to
it
the
do?
tree.
Yeah.
So it gets them really high. So there was this documentary from the guy who made Gods Must Be Crazy. So before that documentary, he had made one called Animals Are Beautiful People. And in this, there is a scene which I think has gone viral on social media also, of like, and he's doing the whole narration. It's just that elephants come in, they bang on the tree, all the fruits fall, but then all the animals, it's a free for all the other animals also.
Yeah. I've seen this
So
clip.
it says ostrich is drunk, giraffe drunk,
How
watching
did they
them
get the
trying to
ostrich?
walk.
One sec. How did they get an ostrich drunk is what I want to know.
अरे ऑस्ट्रिच आया खुद पीने के लिए.
तो वो प्लांट वो मारते हैं झाड़ को सारा गिरता है. So all of them are having the fruits. So it's like all monkeys have come, everybody is drunk as fuck.
Neville, that when the elephant shows up, right, all the other animals know कि अभी happy hour होने वाला है.
Oh.
Yeah.
तो जब
that elephant is basically that friend in the group who came from abroad or duty free से 4-5 बाटली लेके आया बोला
सबके लिए
आज तो single malt पियेंगे.
So now there was a controversy.
What is
about
it?
this.
ISH से आया मेरा दोस्त को सलाम करो.
There was a
Glenfiddich लाया मेरा दोस्त उसकी बॉटल खत्म करो.
हाँ हाँ आदर क्या?
तो ये वाला डॉक्यूमेंट्री का, because it is so rare to be able to see so many animals drunk. So apparently there's a controversy where
They got them
the
drunk.
the film crew staged this. So they knew that the elephants are looking for these particular plants, but an elephant, a 3,000 kg elephant, would have to consume 8 times their regular feeding pattern to actually get drunk. So what these guys did, because they wanted the funny footage, allegedly, they injected the fruits with alcohol and other shit to get the animals way more drunk. And it is funny. It is funny, but it was this weird controversy that was created. And this is 1974.
Bro,
Crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah, that's cool.
Imagine being on a film crew ऐसे कि क्या कर रहा है ने बस हाथी को बेवड़ा पिला रहा हो.
But bro, तू अभी पिक्चर का बोला ना, I just saw this one killer show on Netflix called Painkillers. It's on the opioid crisis in America. Have you guys watched that?
yeah.
Dude,
Matthew
wow.
Broderick.
Matthew Broderick, banging. Such a good show. In fact,
Up there, up there.
Mike Flanagan's new one, which is Fall of the House of Usher, also has the running track of opioid crisis. So for those people who are unaware, basically America में उन लोग heroin literally poppy seeds heroin को जो तू actual ऐसे स्पून में डाल के जो एडिक्ट होता है ना, literally small doses of heroin to relieve just normal pain. Right? Not severe pain, just normal pain. That why should you have pain? And they went ham across the board, and they have spread it to the smallest doctors, getting like their reps to go, like hot girls to be reps of the pills to go to different doctors in like different dispensaries. Doctors get an additional this if they sell or prescribe a certain amount of it. So they were prescribing it left, right, and center. And what people aren't realizing, because unka pain relief ho raha hai, in serious cases, cancer, broken body, this, that, you actually need it, because you can't like survive, because itna threshold of pain nobody has. But for normal, तेरा ऐसी सर दुख रहा है तो तू वो वाला लेना चाहिए.
So the thing about it, there was already an existing pill that
They made it stronger. Yeah.
So what they did is basically the release time of the pill. They doctored the results of how long the drug will last and keep you thinking. And the thing is, this was done for patients who, for example, had a lot of physical labor work. Like in the show, there's the guy who runs a garage, right? For example, तो अभी वो उसका दिन का काम है कि उसको टायर हिलाने का है, इंजन हिलाने का है, ये हिलाने का है, गाड़ी को उठाने का है, ये करने का, वो करने का. This person needs the back, and the उसका 4 बजे दर्द हो रहा है, फिर body get used to it, so फिर 3 बजे हो रहा है, फिर 2 बजे हो रहा है, तो he is increasing the dosage, and the doctor is saying हाँ ठीक है ले.
But if you actually sat and read up on the opioid crisis, I'm like, wait, America prides itself, we are number one country, सबसे आगे, सबसे progressive, सबसे ये, सबसे वो, blah blah blah, war on drugs, सब कुछ. लेकिन उधर उन लोग के doctors actually legally तेरे को, in layman's terms, are giving you small doses of heroin. It's literally heroin.
It was also because the way they had manipulated the FDA and all of that jazz, right? That's why.
So there was another legal drug that was sold over the counter. Now, the effects are similar to cocaine and LSD. This particular, guess what is the way to take this drug? It's not the typical normal ways. Think of the weirdest way you could actually
put it up your butt. Yeah,
is it a
that's
snake
actually,
bite?
No.
There is a legit, that is, but no, not this particular drug. This drug was called, the street name for the drug was bath salts.
Oh, you
bath salts. By the way, this started getting sold in India also under Meow Meow.
Oh. Yeah.
Bro, you don't remember this? Yeah,
I remember Meow Meow.
6-8 साल पहले, 6-8 साल पहले तू Times of India, ये वो सबके front page पे Meow Meow. Because what they started doing apparently is, it's bath salt, but if you crush it really, really fine, it almost becomes powder-like. So people who want to do coke think that it's actually coke, And the cost of making this because I fucking read an entire news piece on this by this one journalist in Delhi who actually went through this. His friends got at the shadi what they thought was coke. Hey, everybody's done it, this, that. And they're like, fuck, I'm feeling really good and it's good coke, bro. Like they must have done some shit like that. तो और आ रहा है half the price, actually half the street value whatever it is of coke, उसका half the value का ये आ रहा है म्याओ म्याओ. So they've done it, they're loving it, the high is super, they've called for more and more and more and more. By the end of it, these 4 5 people have done about 6 grams or whatever of it, to a point where this dude has, like, you're feeling that high and after अभी घर जाने के घर जाके सोने की कोशिश करें, नींद नहीं आ रही है, उसको नींद नहीं आ रही है. और now paranoia is set in, because the easiest way to get yourself paranoid is try not sleeping for 24 hours, try not sleeping for 18 hours. You will automatically start losing your mind. This dude hasn't slept in 2.5 days. And not only that, his girlfriend has come home who was out of town, who's worried that he's not answering phone, ye wo wo. She's come home to see him. He has a license gun. Okay, he's in the
Oh
kitchen
no.
pointing at the door. As soon as she's coming, she's just like, what? Because she has no clue all this is happening. And he's like,
Yikes.
dude, I don't
Sick.
even know. That's
The hallucinogens, like there's one called dragonfly. You take itna sa, you'll be hallucinating for 2-3 days.
yeah, bro. You go. There's so many. You go take psychedelic mushrooms. Yeah.
There's one story. The one story I found randomly is this dude. So there was a dog that there was a fire in a house. तो घर जल रहा है, and the dog was trapped. And so the neighbor saw this happening. कि घर खाली है, कुत्ता वहां पे मर जाएगा. This guy broke into the house, okay, grabbed the dog and got out of the house as fast as possible and saved him and called 911. When they reached there was no fire. The dog was perfectly fine in the house. This guy hallucinated the fire and went in and saved the dog.
Wow. I was expecting the police to find a bunch of people. सब कुछ ले लिया है तो उन लोग वाकड़े हो गए. इधर तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं.
खाली घर है. He basically broke into his friend's neighbor's house and stole the dog.
Crazy.
Okay.
In fact, they started doing this thing with marijuana, right? Like, by the way, what's your stand on marijuana? What do you think? Should be legalized?
Oh yeah, if cigarettes are legal, yeah.
I mean, like half the West has legalized it. Either way, we will reserve our comments about whether marijuana should be legalized. But the reason I'm telling you this is because what you would think that अरे ये तो natural है और से निकलता है, ये कर सकते हैं. They started making synthetic marijuana,
Yeah.
which has more THC than your regular marijuana that you would get. Okay, to a point where again, this documentary में उन्होंने कैसे किया, अगर तू एक डूब फूक रहा है of this synthetic, it's almost like smoking 10 of the regular organic जो तेरा marijuana grower है वो. And they've started upping it to a point where London में तो ये बड़ा भारी epidemic हो गया है. Where
Is it legal in London or?
no, it's not legal.
No.
Can't be legal. This can't be legal anyway.
This is fully, bro, synthetic spiked up like 100x of your regular, how much you're supposed to have. The brain is not processed to handle it only, bro.
Got it.
So they go by like the street names, Spice or Voodoo and shit like that. So what you would think, hey, ये तो joint पी रहा है, he's a stoner, है, normal है, नहीं. If you're smoking this synthetic shit, dude, these people are losing their mind. And it's even more rampant because easier to make, easier to slip through, no aroma, no this, so you can take it through planes, and the distribution of it is a lot easier and it's cheaper and highly addictive. So then there's that whole, again, cyclical thing of, अरे नहीं मैं इसको छोटा से लूंगा ठीक हो जाएगा, but no, the minute you start on it, there's no like coming back. It's insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Coming very quickly from all these drugs to one that is extremely common in our country, and we've spoken about it before. It's time to talk about gutka.
Arey.
And
have either of y'all ever had gutka ever? Any of your?
No,
You know,
why?
like, just to try. No, I mean,
Is pan
yeah,
para
not.
gutka?
Depends
No,
on
that's
what
the
year you
chocolate.
took it.
No, when my dad was alive that time.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was gutka. It was gutka.
once to just understand कि क्या,
yeah.
right? तू दारू भी पिया, तू सिगरेट भी पिया रही है, you're trying. ये जो है, I never understood. I've seen it. I've seen people love it, enjoy it, want it, spit it, talk with it in its mouth. So हमने एक बार कि क्या है सीन, ब्रो ऐसा उन्होंने क्या लिया था, मानिक चंद या मूलचंद, one of the two, और लेके डाला. It is disgusting.
Vile.
It is I can still taste it. You know what I mean? Like, एक बार वो मैं जिस 18 साल का था तभी डाला, अभी 36 साल का हो तभी भी आ रहा है टेस्ट मुंह में. It's
I think it
gross.
is to avoid eating food or something. That is where it kind of comes to, like, it is, they do it because like it's usually rickshawalas and people who are like on the job. So it's like it just suppresses appetite.
Really? I mean,
It
if
makes
there's a
gives you one
non-smoker,
spike of
yeah,
feeling good.
non-smoker will look at me and be like, "Arey, yak tu kya cigarette peeta?" So obviously from that, only a person who does it knows what actually is. But I didn't get it. चल दारू मेरे को समझ में आया, सिगरेट समझ में, ये क्या कर रहे हैं बाप रे. Anyway, Kautuk, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, so basically, let's first talk about this one thing. Okay, so in 2021, India was playing New Zealand, all right, at Green Park Stadium in Kanpur, and the camera panned to a guy in the stands. He's talking on his phone, and he's got a mouthful of good.
Oh
doing?
no.
So
Gutka and betting goes perfectly together. Bhai.
no,
The more
Gutka
gutka
and
you eat,
Kanpur goes perfectly together.
and betting, तीनों का मिश्रण, तीनों का मिश्रण of
Which
project.
is what gutka is.
So so yeah, so he's over there going like, अरे चौथी ओवर पर लग.
₹800 आउट हो जाएगा क्या? आउट हो जाएगा? अरे क्या बोल रहे हो, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. ₹500 लगा दो, आउट हो गया. अरे मैं जीता नहीं, मुझे
I
समझ
like
में नहीं आया.
स्टेडियम में खड़े होके वो 500 रुपए की बेट लगा रहा है. 500 रुपया लगा.
So
नो,
he
बट
has,
वैसे एक स्टेडियम में ना पीछे बैनर थे. अभी एक आया था रिसेंटली कोई टेस्ट मैच के टाइम पे, दे डिड अ शॉट फ्रॉम द बॉलर्स एंड दे शोड द स्टैंड्स एंड इट हैड गुटका एवरीवेयर. नो, आई एम श्योर इवन द सीट्स एंड ऑल डिड, बट बैनर्स कि ये हम लोग इधर ये चलता है.
so one second. So there is a happy ending. So basically what happens is, firstly, when the camera pans to him instantly, because you know how our Indian meme janta is, right? So instantly they saw it. Ye to bhai prime meme hai. So he became known as the gutka guy. Now they found him, they tracked him down. They were like, कौन है ये गुटका guy? They found him. They did one interview with him. He's like कि actually क्या हुआ था कि मैं गुटका खाता हूँ, पर स्टेडियम के बाहर सिक्योरिटी ने मेरा गुटका ले लिया था.
तो he put all of it.
तो जब कैमरा मेरे पर आया तब मैं पान खा रहा था, मीठा पान, ओके, बीटल नट,
Which is very easy to get in the stadium.
तो मेरा
कानपुर स्टेडियम ऐसा पान वाला है,
तो वहां पे बैठा है एक बंदा बना रहा है सब लोग के लिए पान, एक के बाद एक.
तो
पानी है नहीं, पान है. At this point, Kanpur should be called Panpur, bro.
एक एक्स्ट्रा मात्रा डाल दिया आपने.
तो he has,
Sorry.
so basically he said कि नहीं मैं करता हूँ पर उस टाइम नहीं कर रहा था, right? So now he said कि but I will quit. Now sometime later he comes back to watch a cricket match, and this time he has carried a sign with him saying गुटखा खाना गलत बात है.
And he's got
hashtag कानपुर गुटकेबाज.
oh, he's created his own hashtag.
उसने बना दिया कानपुर गुटकेबाज.
Yes.
But you know the amount of people that will show up if you type hashtag Kanpur Gutkebaz.
Kanpur Gutkebaz.
You're like, 1 second, which one are you again?
Sir, you'll have to narrow it down. कोई area, location.
कानपुर गुटकेबाज 4000049. अच्छा अच्छा, वो है. ओके मैं 53 हूँ. अच्छा अच्छा.
So that's one story. Okay. Now here's another thing about about gutka, and it is this. So the BMC in 2021, again, this is from 21, yeah. So here's what, like, India faced COVID just like every other nation in the world, but unlike other nations, we had a unique problem on our hands.
Spitting.
अरे
Yes.
यार
कि लोग थूक रहे हैं, right, public में अपना
ऐसे-
COVID लेके projectile.
but India was the only country where people wore masks and then pulled the mask down to
Yes.
cough and then pulled the mask up.
Back up.
The only in an elevator I see and then put the mask up. बोलता है आप मास्क के अंदर कॉफ करो ना. अरे नहीं फिर वो गंदा हो जाता है
तो
अंदर.
बोलता है फिर मेरे पे आएगा. मतलब भाई तो तेरे पे आना चाहिए.
No, also the
तेरा
thing
तेरे
is,
पे आएगा तो तुझे कुछ नहीं होगा. अगर
he's
तेरा
not talking
मेरे पे
about,
आएगा,
but he's not talking about the shame board. He is talking about when he coughs, the pan will come
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
the mask. And so then he won't be able to breathe.
अबे तो मत खा. चूती मत खा.
But I'm certain there has been at least, I'm sure more than one, but at least
This
one,
is
one
this-
guy
this-
who was having pan and out of habit forgot that he was wearing
But bro, मेरे को कोविड के टाइम में मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, मेरे को पकड़
पानी
लिया.
पीते टाइम होता था.
नहीं, मेरे को पकड़ लिया तो मैं बोला अरे क्या, नहीं नहीं मास्क क्यों नहीं पहना, ऐसे सिगरेट पी रहा हूँ. हाँ तो मास्क क्यों नहीं पहना है. मैं बोला मास्क पहन के खड्डा करो क्या उसके अंदर.
But you don't know this. Thakur, you didn't know this or what? So
तो क्या
what
कैसे
people
करूं?
started doing where people wore two masks. So one mask covers this part and the second
fuck.
mask is here. So there is a slit. So when it closes, it is in. You cannot tell that you are wearing two masks. Only when you need to smoke a cigarette, that's when like the two masks come separate. You can smoke and then otherwise मुंह पे दिखता है कि पूरा मास्क पहना है.
fucking ninjas.
मैं दे
Arey,
दिया
why
पैसा.
don't you just smoke in the places that you can indoors in your house?
So
नहीं कानपुर की बात चल रही है, not indoor.
so in 2021, to combat COVID and spitting and all of that, the BMC started finding people, and within 6 months they had collected 24 lakhs just from spitting fines. So there is like I feel like और करना चाहिए थोड़ा.
अपन
drive.
इधर के अपने कंट्री का पॉवर्टी अपन सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. अगर जितने बार भी पब्लिक थूकेश
Yes.
ना, उतने टाइम पे पैसा
Yes.
लो उन लोग से,
Yes,
उधर बचा लेंगे लोगों को.
100%. And now this is the second last thing. So talking about fines and amount of money spent. Now the Indian Railway spends about 1,200 crore and gallons of water every year to
clean up.
pan
Clean.
stains that are there on the trains. Right? 1,200 crore.
Trains
rupees.
and elevator shafts.
Not elevator shafts, is the space between two floors.
हाँ हाँ.
हाँ.
तो नोटिस कर, इधर फ्लोर है ना और इधर फ्लोर है, इसके बीच का जो एरिया ना उसके
उधर
अंदर
भी
जाली
Yes.
वाले
हाँ.
लिफ्ट के थ्रू थूक है भाई. अपन अपना टैलेंट कुछ अलग लेवल पे चल रहा है.
मेरे बिल्डिंग में लिफ्ट नया बना, पूरा रिफर्बिश होके दे बॉट एन हर 10 साल में नया लेना पड़ता है. तो
हाँ,
लिया,
तो-
पूरा अंदर से पेंटिंग हुआ.
हाँ.
इट्स लाइक अ मैन केम कि उसको पता है लिफ्ट बनी है एंड इट्स ऑलरेडी कवर्ड इन स्पिट.
Yeah.
I think the logic is कि मैं अभी ये घर में पहुंचने वाला हूँ तो
तो पहले
इधर-
ठूक देता हूँ ना बीच में.
So imagine if people just stopped having gutka and spitting it on the train, our trains could become free for everyone. Just
So
ये लो
now-
12,000 crore के ticket free.
So now I present to you the solution to all our problems.
Oh no.
Welcome to the future. Okay. Now to combat people who are spitting in trains, to combat people who are spitting on the road, to combat people who are spitting in the middle of the elevator shaft.
You kill them.
No. There,
Yes, murder.
there is a-
थूके.
there is a company called Easy Spit.
Oh
थूकना कन्वीनियंट कर रहे हैं आपके लिए, नहीं बंद नहीं करेंगे.
हाँ.
So they're like,
It's
listen, we can't,
Spittoons startup.
we can't stop the people from eating. We can't stop them from spitting. We can only control where they spit. Okay, so here's what
Spitting areas.
here's what Easy Spit did. Okay, so Easy Spit comes out with
तुम फोन पे करो और वो लोग
nahi, it's easy spit pouches and easy spit cups.
Platoons.
Okay,
Ah.
so you open the pouch, you spit into it, and then you seal it. And you can do it
ये
15
कभी
times.
नहीं चलेगा. ये कभी नहीं
Okay.
चलेगा.
So
Then-
it's a resealable pouch.
Yes, so you open it, you spit into it, and you close it.
अरे चीज़, एक पाउच से इनका क्या होगा? वो तो सुबह के 2 घंटे में 15 थूक चली जाएगी
तो
उसमें.
फिर तू 2 pouch करे.
तो तू बैग में से
No,
क्या
so-
पिटून लेके घूमना थोड़ा.
Nahi. So now the thing is, 1 pouch, 15 spits. If you buy the cup,
One pouch. I love the mathematics that has
Yes.
gone into this.
1 pouch, 15 spits, 1 cup, you get 30 spits. Okay, so you can keep spitting in the cup, putting a
But
lid.
कप seal नहीं कर सकता ना.
Then you put a lid now on the cup.
Oh.
So now, I don't know why, dude. Like, I don't know why the brand ambassador for Easy Spit is Sunil Shetty.
No.
सुरेश शेट्टी की आवाज ऐसी
He's
लगती है ना
already
कि
got
वो
it.
खा रहा है. मालूम करता है.
अगर आपको ठोकना है तो.
So,
Anna-
so he
Anna
does
क्या
one full.
बोलूं?
By the way, he does. There's a video on YouTube where he's done a demonstration. So he says, "मैं आपको magic दिखाऊं."
He's done the demonstration.
It's
Guys,
not
if you find this video, please comment. Please
It's,
send me.
Yeah.
it's very simple. You just type EZYSPIT. Okay, Easy Spit. So the demonstration, he says, मैं आपको magic दिखाऊं. And he's got the cup, and then he's got a glass with red liquid in it.
Oh no.
And he pours the liquid into the cup, and the cup absorbs it. Okay, so then he
This is
Turns the
like
cup
a
around.
sanitary pad commercial.
yes,
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
But I'm
Except they
saying-
actually use red liquid.
Yeah, I'm saying where they should use red liquid, they're
they
using.
use blue. And
Yeah.
when they should use blue, they use red.
अरे मेरे को
Nobody
लगा
wants to see red liquid in this
मेरे को-
platoon ad.
मेरे को लगा अन्ना मेथड एक्टिंग करेगी, खुद
हाँ,
आके
करेगा
थूके. वो ये लाके ऐसे इतना प्यार से क्या डाल रहा है? ये नहीं होता है.
Ah, actually, what Anna should do is go to like
Have
there
it.
should be a full
Bring it.
universe where Anna goes with the
Yes.
easy spit
Yes.
to Ajay Devgan and Akshay Kumar and Shah Rukh Khan going like अभी इसमें थूक भी दो, ये कर लिया, अभी थूको.
Bro, they have Akshay also. Right? This is the remake of Mohra I want to see.
हाँ. But
Best.
bro, this is an old thing. I remember जो तू मूवीज देखे ना, जो मुनीम जी या कोई होता था ना साइड में, they used to roam around with a steel
लोटा.
डब्बा.
Yes, spittoon.
और
So-
जैसे कुंज बिहारी नाम है, ऐसा कर फ्रूट करके उसको बंद करके उसको रखते थे.
So, but this is like an absorbent thing, right? Which is what he is demonstrating. कि like वो अंदर घुस जाता है. Now, here's my favorite part about it. Okay, so he says कि एक तो वो सोख लेता है, फिर दूसरा चीज जो होता है उसमें से अच्छी फ्रेग्रेंस निकलती है. Okay, but the favoritist thing, okay, the third thing, he says कि it actually helps the environment. You know how? जब आप वो कप या पाउच को फेंकते हैं, उस कप में है actual plant seeds, और वो उसमें से निकले plant.
ये क्या प्लांट निकलेगा? गुटका, उसका गुटके का प्लांट निकलेगा.
मेरे को लगता है ये प्लांट भी जो निकलेगा ना, प्लांट की लीव्स भी
One sec,
या
this-
प्लांट को पहले से ही कैंसर होएगा. प्लांट को ही कैंसर है.
I wanna
प्लांट
know that-
फोटोसिंथेसिस कर रहे हैं हम लोग. फोटोसिंथेसिस.
No, I'm saying that there is a in this pouch there are seeds. So when you spit or whatever, it grows a plant. Is what you're saying?
नहीं, एक पान की दुकान निकलती है. एक पान की दुकान निकलती है. जिधर भी तूने पैकेट फेंका ना, उधर एक पान वाला आ जाता है.
What is it? Tell me.
और वो और गुटखा देता है देखो.
the
फिर तू खा के स्प्रेड कर ऐसे. It's cross pollination of pan gutka which ends up becoming a pan shop. Leads to more gutka and leads to more pan shop. Eventually we are all going to be a pan shop. और सब उधर ठुकते जाते थे.
It's basically बाबा कि वो पाउच में है सीड्स, ओके, और पाउच है बायोडिग्रेडेबल. तो तू जहां भी फेंके, क्योंकि लिटरिंग तो सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता.
और देखो अगर ये
फेंकेगा
और
भी,
एक
तो might as well.
देखो इसको जानना
It
है
will grow
कि
a
अन्ना
plant wherever you want.
it's not going to grow on concrete. अगर मैं इसको हाईवे पे फेंकूं उधर थोड़ी झाड़ आ जाएगा. I have to put it in जैसे कोई सॉइल वॉइल वाली चीज हो. मैं कचरे के डिब्बे में डाला, अरे प्लांट आ गया. सब लोग बोल रहे ये कैसा आ रहा है प्लांट.
All I
Now
want to
we
know
have a
is-
problem where in बॉम्बे में सारे के सारे कचरे के डब्बे में झाड़ उग गए.
So वैसे
And they
झाड़
already
जैसा-
have a pan. They already have a pan.
और झाड़ के ऊपर झाड़ के ऊपर
हाउस बना के.
सब लटक रहे और टूटता हुआ है पान.
But one sec, I only have one simple question. So is it going to grow a Venus flytrap?
Why?
हाँ.
That can
Venus
Venus
flytrap.
flytrap can eat also, no, like that.
Venus, it's not Venus, Venus flytrap. Because तेरे जब मुंह में गुटखा था तो वीन नहीं बोल सकता, तेरे को बी बोलना पड़ता है, क्योंकि तू बी बोला तो गिर जाएगा तेरे मुंह
Venus.
से.
It's a Venus. हाँ.
I just
Venus
hope it
flytrap.
I hope it grows a rose because that'll be the reddest fucking rose you will ever see in your life.
Oh, that's like mutant. That's
Imagine
like your
giving that to
emoji.
your girlfriend and then she's smelling that rose.
No, she takes it. She's like,
Smelling.
oh, thank you, love it. और उसको कैसे मालूम कि इसमें अन्ना का प्रोजेक्टाइल है या जिसका भी कुंज बिहारी का कानपुर
अजय देवगन का.
कानपुर
अजय देवगन.
गाजियाबाद नहीं, क्या था उसका नाम? कानपुर गाजियाबाद नहीं, क्या था उसका नाम? गुटकेबाज का
गुटकेबाज. कानपुर
Kanpur
गुटकेबाज.
Guys, I'm really sorry to put an end to this wonderful.
एनवायरनमेंट पसंद नहीं है क्या तुझे?
Except it is 2:30 a.m. and we are talking about
Oh.
gutka, guys.
अभी तो असली एपिसोड शुरू हुआ है गाइस. वेलकम. टुडेस एपिसोड इज जस्ट स्टार्टेड.
Oh shit, man! I
तुम लोग
loved
को
it.
पब्लिक को ये देखने का है भाई.
By
Public
the
को
way,
ये देखने का है.
there is a vending machine, okay, in Nagpur state.
Which is giving out gutkas.
No,
Oh no, it's giving out the easy spit. पहली बात तो Indians can't understand how to work vending machines. I've realized this much.
So by the
Because
time the
I
thing
have been
comes
so
out, they'll have
confused.
spat on it.
Yeah, कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा है. ये तेरे को easy spit चाहिए? ये ले. पैसा दूं मैं थूकने का.
Bro, tell them the real easy spit is always going to be. That is going to be the
That
easiest
is the
spit.
easiest spit.
Don't put another step between me and my easy spit. I just spit. If you put a fucking soakable cup in which I can throw anywhere I want, apparently.
हाँ.
Not
वो
thought it
बोलेगा,
through.
आप-
Easy spit.
आप पूरे बॉम्बे में, आप पूरे सिटी में ना, आप क्या करो, पूरे कानपुर में सीड्स फैला के रखो, तो मैं जहां पे भी थूकूंगा वहां पे झाड़ बन जाएगा. अभी मैंने पेपर भी सॉल्व कर दिया तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम.
Cute,
Okay,
man.
बस चलो इसी बात पे बंद. ये था हमारा एपिसोड ऑन एडिक्शंस. Apart from all the bunkers things, like we've said, it is a real problem. If you suffer from something similar, please do seek help. Don't shy away from talking about it. Go out. It's all acceptable. If you know people, friends, family, whoever are going through it, don't shame them. Try and be there. There's a lot of help and a lot of options out there for people. So yeah, don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't eat gutka, don't drink alcohol. Have coffee, but only good one. Don't have bad coffee.
But if you
yeah.
do eat gutka, please
Please.
spit it out into.
Easy cup, and you can go to Easy Spit and say Taste Centers here, and this product is not going to work.
And
Okay.
it's not sponsored at all. Huh, by the
It's
way.
not sponsored.
I doubt this is
I'm
being
also
sponsored.
assuming that this episode is dropping on a Tuesday.
No, it's dropping tomorrow, Baba.
Oh,
We
who's
have
cutting it?
announced you.
I'm cutting it now.
Pay attention to the group.
Yeah.
Yes, pay attention to the group.
Yeah,
I
you
don't,
just
11:40 we
spit
would have
out.
started. We would have finished, but you continued. अभी तू काट और डाल इसको. कल हम लोगों ने प्रॉमिस किया है. यार थर्सडे नाइट 2:45 हम लोग शूट कर रहे हैं. सॉरी 3:15 in the morning, guys.
By the way,
all you
for
watching.
people who say they can definitely take 1 hour out of their schedule in a week and it takes 3 hours. तुम लोग कुछ
Yeah.
भी करो, हम लोग को 3 घंटा लगता है.
हाँ. चलो. Anyway, on that note,
Guys,
that's the
see,
end
the thing
of.
is,
Wait, तू अभी मत बोल. पोस्ट क्रेडिट में बोल. पोस्ट क्रेडिट में बोल.
Asli post.
अबे खींचना. All right. On that note, that's the end of this episode of the 89 Cents. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell icon, tell your people. Links of our shows are in the comments and in the community. Just please buy tickets, make us rich. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, and yeah, be addicted to us. Keep watching, and please forgive us if we are on and off with the episodes, because that's going to happen. Telling you sorry right now, and you can blame Baba for it. अरे बाबा सिगरेट पीने का है क्या?
मैं छोड़ दिया है.
Oh,
तो ये छुपा के रखा है तूने कैसे?
Cold turkey.
शर्मा रहा क्यों है तू सिगरेट छोड़ के?
Because because it's not been a
छोड़
month
दिया।
yet. It'll be a month on Tuesday.
It's going to be a month.
Oh,
3 weeks on
shit.
Tuesday. Three and a half weeks on
What was
Tuesday.
the trigger? How did you do this?
अब मैं मेरे को बहुत टाइम से करने आता, लेकिन मैं एक दिन बहुत बीमार हो गया वो ट्यूसडे को, और मैं फुल गॉन था. लाइक आई वाज ऑन, लाइक आई कुडंट गेट अप फ्रॉम द बेड, दैट्स हाउ बैड आई वाज. मैं सिर्फ ऐसा टैबलेट लेने को और मूतने को उठ के वापस सो जाएगा. एंड आई वाज लाइक, आई डिडंट स्मोक दैट डे, एंड देन द नेक्स्ट डे आई वाज लाइक, चल आज भी नहीं करता हूँ, बिकॉज आई जस्ट वांट टू मेक श्योर आई टेक इट इजी.
बाप
And
बाप
then
बाप.
and then gone. But I
Wow.
have done this once for 4 years where I've been cold turkey and cigaretteless.
अच्छा
I
तो
need
आएगा
to
मतलब
cross-
वापस ना.
So I need to cross 4 years is my point.
Oh,
But I'm
no,
just
no,
saying, like,
but genuinely no jokes aside, fucking super proud कि तू ये कर पाया है. अभी जल्दी से पॉन भी छोड़ दे तो फिर तेरी लाइफ ठीक हो जाए.
Yeah, that'll be best.